We've talked about averages from a frequency table, but sometimes when you've got a large range of data, you need to group the data into 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So today we're going to be looking at finding averages from a grouped frequency table. We can show data in a grouped frequency table. The numbers here are either 10 to 20, 20 to 30 or 30 to 40. So let's add these groups to our table. We've got a problem though. Which group will 20 go into? Will it be 10 to 20 or 20 to 30? To help solve this problem, we can write our groups as inequalities. 20 will go in the h is greater than or equal to 20 but less than 30 group because it equals 20. Frequency means how many. There are three numbers between 10 and 20, so the frequency for our first group will be 3. There are two numbers between 20 and 30, and there are three numbers between 30 and 40. Notice that there are 8 numbers altogether, and our frequencies, 3 plus 2 plus 3, add up to 8. Let's have a look at these questions. In this question we're asked for the estimated mean. Now it doesn't mean that we just guess what the mean is. To find the estimated mean we still need to go through these steps. We know that the mean is the sum of values divided by the amount of values, and we would think we multiply the number in the first column by the second column to give our fx column. But how do you multiply 0 to 10 by 14? Well, you can't. We need a number that represents all of those numbers that are between 0 and 10, and the fairest number to pick is the midpoint. The midpoint is the halfway point, and to find it you can add the numbers together and divide by 2. So for instance the last midpoint will be 20 plus 30, which is 50, divided by 2, which will be 25. What we're saying is that all the numbers in the first group were 5, all the numbers in the second group were 15, and all the numbers in the third group were 25. That could have been the case, but it's unlikely. That is why it's an estimated mean, because we don't know what the original data was. We then do our fx column by multiplying 14 by 5, 12 by 15, and 5 by 25. And to find the mean, we add up the fx column, 70 plus 180 plus 125, and divide it by the sum of the frequency column, 14 plus 12 plus 5. And that gives us the answer of 12.1 centimetres to 3 significant figures. We can't find the exact value of the median because we don't know what the raw data was, but we can find the group containing the median. To find where the median is, we use the formula n plus 1 over 2, where n is the amount of data we have. We can find this by adding up the frequency column. There's 31 pieces of data, so we're going to do 31 plus 1 divided by 2. So 32 divided by 2, which means the median will be the 16th value. Looking at our table, the first 14 values were in the first group, so the 16th one will be in the second group, so 10 to 20 group. The modal class is the mode, but when we're using groups. Class just means group, and it's the class that came up the most, the group that came up the most. So looking at our table, the first group came up the most, so our modal class will be 0 to 10. Now I say 0 to 10, but make sure you write it down with the inequalities. In any exam, 0 to 10 with a 0-10 would not give you the mark. The maximum range is the biggest that the number could have been. Now, you might think that the answer will be 29, but it will actually be 29.999 recurring, which is the same as 30. I know that 30 couldn't have been in that group, but we use 30 as our biggest possible value. Our smallest value is 0, so it would be 30 take away 0, which will give you 30. You would still get the mark for 29.9 recurring, but you also get the mark for 30, so it's easier to use the number 30. And let's finish with this. Discuss how grouping data can help statisticians working with people's ages. If you've got an answer, write it in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you. And you can come to onmaths.com or click the link in the description where you can access all of our papers and predictions for free, and you can even save your scores with a free account. This video is part of a larger GCSE course that you can follow along with at onmaths.com.